Hello again, everyone, and welcome to this edition of The Daily Driver for Thursday, January 22nd, 2009. I'm Philippe Kahn, and we're starting today off with a follow-up on yesterday's story about the merger of Fiat and Chrysler. Looks like the executives from both of those companies are wasting no time finding out how to merge their disparate product lines, and it looks like the first vehicle on the slate to come to North America, with any luck, will be the Fiat Cinquecento. Yes, Cinquecento, as in 500 in Italian. This iconic little car, and I do mean little, folks. Let me give you some specs here. 139.8 inches, which is almost 6 full inches shorter than a Mini Cooper. 64.2 inches narrow, which is 2 inches narrower than a Mini Cooper, and 58.7 inches tall, which is 4 inches taller than a Mini. Add it all together and you get some of the goofiest proportions ever in a production vehicle, but this thing is no joke. It might be the small car that just might save Chrysler's bacon. 68 horsepower, 75 pounds-feet of torque, and 46 miles to the gallon, which is almost 10 miles to the gallon more than the most fuel-efficient Mini Cooper can manage. This thing is the real deal, folks. I certainly hope they bring it over to the U.S. I certainly hope they do not rebadge it as a Chrysler or a Dodge. This is a Fiat, and it's an iconic brand that just might be able to take on the Mini Cooper in a credible fashion. So bring it on, Chrysler. We want that 500. All right. Moving, last thing I should mention, folks, the price point. The price point. In Europe, these 500s go for 10,500 euros, about 13.5 US dollars, depending on your exchange rate. So again, I think this might be the most compelling thing to come to Chrysler since the Hemi. Moving right along to BMW news, the Z4 configurator, the 2009 Z4 configurator, is finally up on BMW USA, folks. Hop on there, bmwusa.com. You can play around with all the colors, the options, and this is an exciting new car. It's going to be built in Germany for the first time ever. It was built in Spartanburg for the longest time in the U.S. Now production is moving to Germany, a much bigger, much more usable, and still every bit as fun vehicle as we've expected out of the Z4. Check out that configurator on BMW USA. And finally, we have some photos floating around on the interwebs this morning. If you search for 2011 6 Series prototype, specifically convertible, you might find them. But it looks like the boys in Munich are out testing the 2011, what's supposedly the 2011 6 Series. And typically, I don't mess around with this sort of rumor control stuff, folks, but this I found a little bit interesting. In the U.S. market, we're likely to only get 2 engine choices as we normally do. The top of the line, of course, being the M, the entry-level 6 Series, if you will. We'll likely get the top of the line V8, what we're going to see in the new 7 Series, 400 horsepower, 400 pounds-feet of torque. The M6, however, is supposed to get the first forced induction M motors that we're ever going to see. Looks like the E86 Z4M Coupe was the last of the 6 Series naturally aspirated M motors. The E90X M3s are going to be the last of the naturally aspirated V8 motors, and from here on out, we're going to be getting twin turbos. Whether it be a V8 or a V10 is unclear at this point. Expect something in the range of 600 horsepower. And finally, the last thing to mention is in these early prototype models that have been seen tooling around Europe, they still are using fabric soft tops for the 6 Series convertibles, eschewing the trend set by the 3 Series convertibles and the Z4s, which have gone hard top. They're still sticking with the soft top, at least in these early prototypes. And personally, I think it kind of makes sense. You might know that the Rolls-Royce drop-head coupe, the top-of-the-line BMW offering there, or the offering from the BMW group there, is only offered in a soft top, and they say that that actually is what they want to portray for their higher-end vehicles. So, sorry about running over time today, folks. It was kind of a long show, but thanks for sticking with me. We shall see you tomorrow.